Boom, we're back, guys. Welcome to No Traction Faction. We're working on the all-wheel drive Charger again, and we've got a lot of the rear subframe all situated. If you guys remember from the last episode, we were having some issues with the shocks. We ended up getting some RideTech full true coilovers originally. Unfortunately, the RideTech parts just don't seem to work. We think we got the wrong version of the RideTech. Unfortunately, we just returned them to the vendor. And so instead, we're going to be throwing on some new springs today. And those are going to be actually a divorced setup. So here in front of me, I've got some Demon rear divorce springs. And they're bumpers, and then we've got a pair of Viking dampers as well, along with the original OEM top hats. So these Viking dampers are dual adjustable RNC. So with these guys on there, we're going to be able to get a lot more tunability than we would have with the RideTech or the original I'm sorry, not ST. We had BC racing coilovers on there, and it should be quite a bit more tunable. And the big thing is with this whole setup, we don't really know what we need, right? Because this is an all-wheel drive Charger, it is not a rear-wheel drive only Charger, and you have to get an all-wheel drive car to squat and perform differently than you would a typical rear-wheel drive. Obviously on a rear-wheel drive, you want as much weight transfer on the rear end as you can get that makes sense. That's why you see a lot of rear-wheel drive cars lift up the front wheels to some degree. If you lift up too much, then you have other problems with regards to direction. But regardless, you want to get as much weight transfer to the back as you can. With an all-wheel drive car, there's a fine-tuned limit that you need to do to get weight to the back, but still keeping the front wheels on the ground to get that initial traction from a dig. And so what hopefully this system will start us with is a way to see how the car responds with a typical kind of drag racing setup. These Demon springs are pretty much the standard for a Charger or a Challenger for this model year. And it should give us a good indication on what do we need to do. Do we need to go with a stiffer spring? I think these are about 567 inch-pounds, or I'm sorry, foot-pounds for their constant. And then these dampers, again, being fully adjustable. At least we'll get an idea. Now, Viking Performance also makes a true coilover kit for the Challenger and Charger. The issue is we're still concerned about the spacing and the clearance with the subframe. And so the RideTechs that we had on here before, they fit, but we were still a little concerned with some of the aftermarket BMR adjustable parts that we have, as well as I know the specific Viking real coilovers may have an issue with the CV boots that we have for these drive shaft shop rear CVs. CVs are clearly the more important thing here. We need to be able to hold all the power, and so the suspension kind of has to conform to it. A lot of the stock suspension stuff is real thin all the way down into the lower control arm here, and then goes up into the shock tower on the quarter. So what the plan is this is kind of a first attack. We didn't do so well with the RideTech coilovers in terms of just getting wrong parts, and then obviously the BC racing coilovers that we had here on the back, designed for the all-wheel drive version of the Charger, just don't fit because they're so thick down there at the bottom, and would definitely interfere with the CV boot and that axle. And so we're kind of hitting the drawing board again. Hopefully these divorce setups will give us an idea on what we need. And then from there, we may go to an entirely different shock, or maybe even that true coilover from Viking later on. But that is the plan. We're going to go ahead and get these guys installed. We will probably go ahead and drop the subframe a little bit on each side, and then perhaps drop the bolt as well, and then do a typical install for that rear spring. And then the dampers themselves, they just drop right in, so it's not too big of an issue. Do that for both sides, and we should have our suspension set up. Obviously, again, checking for any kind of clearance issues along the way. Get everything all tightened up, and we should be good to go.